The SEC is looking into Elon again. I know, shocker, right? Your news update, and we talk printers on this edition of State of the Bands Weekend starting right now. Hello and welcome to Arbitrage State of the Bands Weekend for April 16th, 2022. I'm Joshua Stark. Elon Musk's huge Twitter investment took a new twist Tuesday with the filing of a lawsuit alleging that the colorful billionaire illegally delayed disclosing his stake in the social media company so that he could buy more shares at lower prices. The complaint in New York federal court accuses Musk of violating a regulatory deadline to reveal that he had accumulated a stake of at least 5%. Instead, according to the complaint, Musk didn't disclose his position in Twitter until he had almost doubled his stake to more than 9%. America's housing market has grown increasingly frenzied, and prices are out of reach for many buyers, especially first-timers. The spring, traditionally the busiest season for home sales, is likely to deliver frustration and disappointment for aspiring home buyers than it is home ownership. The number of homes for sale nationally remains near record lows, fueling fierce competition among buyers vying for fewer homes. From Los Angeles to Raleigh, North Carolina, where a house does hit the market, it sells within days. Bidding wars are common, often driving the price well above what the owner was asking, and would-be buyers planning to finance their purchase with a home loan are often losing out to investors and others able to buy a home with cash. A quarter of all homes sold in February were purchased with cash, up from 22% a year ago, according to the National Association of Realtors. Real estate investors accounted for 19% of transactions in February, up from 17% a year ago. Congress has appropriated tens of billions of dollars for a variety of programs to help fill the digital gap exposed by the pandemic when millions of people were locked down in their homes with no way to study, work, get online medical health care. The first of these funds are reaching municipalities, businesses, and other groups involved in the effort, but some supply issues, labor shortages, and geographic constraints will slow the rollout. But there's a bottleneck in the supply of fiber. Michael Bell, Senior Vice President and General Manager of Corning Optical Communications, based in Charlotte, North Carolina, says the issue lies with the supply of the protective jacket that surrounds the hair-thin strands of glass that carry information on beams of light. Currently, some working to expand broadband say delays in getting the fiber optic cable they need can exceed a year. A Florida man linked to dozens of motorized golf cart thefts in the upper Midwest was sentenced Tuesday to 2 years in federal prison. The FBI began investigating Nathan Rodney Nelson in July 2019 after the Cass County Sheriff's Office in Fargo, North Dakota, asked for help in solving a series of golf cart thefts starting in 2017 in the Dakotas, Minnesota, and Wisconsin. Nelson, a former Minnesota resident living in Apollo Beach, Florida, was eventually arrested in June 2020 while he was caught trying to steal golf carts from a dealer in Donaldsonville, Georgia. He was also carrying pre-printed serial number labels and burglary tools. More after this on Arbitrage State of the Bands Weekend. Stick around for more news.
It's Thursday night, and you're grabbing drinks with some friends. Started off with a pitcher for the table, which quickly becomes two. There's pool. And there's the photo booth.
All right, everybody squeeze in. Say cheese!
Followed naturally by an order of wings. And another.
Can we get some extra ranch sauce?
Then there's the ceremonial nightcap.
So what are we doing this weekend?
And lastly, it's back to the car, which, if you're buzzed, could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
This week's State of the Bands blog includes a gene splice a day keeps the doctor away, maybe? Our weekly Elon tracker, for some reason. And Royce and I give Warren a printer, because apparently he needs one. All this and more in this week's State of the Bands blog, available now at arbitragetrade.com. Now let's go to the president and CEO of Arbitrage, Mr. Royce Wells, for more. Royce, when's the last time you spliced some jeans?
I think late 80s, early 90s. Grunge was in about then. I think that was the last time I spliced jeans.
I was going to say you bent down the other day, and yeah.
No, I didn't do that.
There was definitely a gene splicing there.
No, it was probably a groaning, but, let's get back to the article.
Not talking about those kind of genes. No. It's that time of year again, the time which we check on the status of infamous labs or scientific figures. I don't know what's going on here. Ari gave us another Arbitrage Digest about science gone wrong.
It didn't go wrong. It just was a little bit to the left or maybe to the right. I don't even know where it stands at this point.
But way off to the left.
Yeah, so this Chinese biophysicist was recently released from jail after serving 3 years for splicing children's genes. 3 children, to be specific, hence the 3 years. But apparently it was considered unethical, and he was fired from, what was the name of the university? Southern University of Science and Technology in Sichuan. But it was kind of actually cool, in my opinion, because basically the gene that he was splicing made the kids immune to HIV.
So it's really cool. He used this thing called CRISPR-Cas9, and that might sound familiar because it was initially uncovered in 2019. A total of 3 children were altered to be immune from HIV. He changed their CCR5 genes, and wow. But apparently it's not perfect, and there comes the risk, right?
Yeah.
When you tear a page from a book, you know how it's got jagged edges and all this, and sometimes the words don't really follow, and it's kind of a mess. While the whole book might not be ruined, that little single page could be lost.
But you're splicing a gene. This is like surgery. Surgery is so precise. I mean, and specifically to that gene location and sequence. I mean, come on.
Yeah, but apparently He Jiankui, by the way, congratulations on that one. That's the guy. Apparently, using this CRISPR-Cas9 is more of a chainsaw than a scalpel.
That could be bad depending on how much you're ripping.
Yeah. Not only that, but we've got another person here that was talked about. You can check that out in our article on the arbitrage.com or arbitragetrade.com blog. And by the way, this is not going to be the end of this. I mean, look at Star Trek, the eugenics wars. Come on.
Yes.
Thank you, nerds. You're welcome.
I like the new version of that, First Steel version. And the new movie. They did a slight adaptation.
Yeah. That Benedict Cumberbatch person.
Yes, that guy.
That kind of was Khan but wasn't Khan.
Exactly.
We could talk about this all day long, but we've got more show to do. More after this.
Live long and prosper.
Hi, we're the Goo Goo Dolls. We're fortunate that we can give our daughters everything they need to grow and learn. But not every child can focus on classes and play dates.
Nearly 13 million kids in the U.S. face hunger. That's 1 in 6. School lunch might be their only meal each day, and it's heartbreaking to imagine any child going to bed hungry. We're dreaming of a perfect day when kids can smile, play, and just be kids without worrying about where their next meal will come from. Feeding America is working to make that perfect day a reality.
Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste. That food is given to families and children in need. Being a kid should be about doing things that make an ordinary day extraordinary. Learning to play an instrument, building a sandcastle, hosting tea parties. Hunger should never be an obstacle to growing up.
You can help end childhood hunger in your community by visiting feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
The familiar sights and sounds are still there. The scuffed and faded floor tiles, the relentless beige-on-beige color scheme, the toddlers' clothes and refrigerators, and pretty much everything in between. There's even a canned recording that begins, "Attention Kmart shoppers," except it's to remind folks about COVID-19 precautions and not to alert them to a flash sale over in ladies' lingerie like the days of old. Many of the shelves are bare, though, at the Kmart in Avenel, New Jersey, picked over by bargain hunters as the store prepares to close its doors for good April 16th. Once it shutters, the number of Kmarts in the U.S., well over 2,000, will be down to 3 in the continental U.S. and a handful of stores elsewhere, according to multiple reports. In a retail world now dominated by Walmart, Target, and Amazon, the demise of the store in the middle-class suburb 15 miles south of New York City is the tale of the death of the discount department store. You're always thinking about it because stores are closing all over, but it's still sad, said cashier Michelle Yavorsky, who said she has worked at the Avenel store for 2.5 years. "I'll miss the place. A lot of people shopped here." In its heyday, Kmart sold product lines endorsed by celebrities Martha Stewart and Jacqueline Smith, sponsored NASCAR auto races, and was mentioned in movies including Rain Man and Beetlejuice. It was name-dropped in songs by artists from Eminem to the Beastie Boys to Hall & Oates. In 2003, Eminem bought a 29-room suburban Detroit mansion once owned by former Kmart chairman Chuck Conaway. The chain cemented a place in American culture with its blue light specials, a flashing blue orb affixed to a pole that would beckon shoppers with a flash sale in progress. Part of its success was due to its early adoption of layaway programs, which allowed customers who lacked credit to reserve items and pay for them in installments. For a time, Kmart had a little bit of everything. You could shop for your kids' back-to-school supplies, get your car tuned up, and grab a meal without leaving the premises. Kmart was a part of America, said Michael Liskey, a Baltimore-based author who has written several books on U.S. retail history. Everybody went to Kmart, whether you liked it or not. They had everything. You had toys, you had sporting goods, you had candy, you had stationery. It was something for everybody, and it was almost as much of a social visit as a shopping visit. You could spend hours there, and these just dotted the American landscape over the years. Kmart's decline has been slow but steady, brought about by years of falling sales, changes in shopping habits, and the looming shadow of Walmart, which coincidentally began its life within months of Kmart's founding in 1962. Struggling to compete with Walmart's low prices and Target's trendier offerings, Kmart filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection in early 2002, becoming the largest U.S. retailer to take that step, and announced it would close more than 250 stores. A few years later, hedge fund executive Edward Lampert combined Sears and Kmart and pledged to return them to their former greatness, but the recession and the rising dominance of Amazon contributed to derailing those goals. Sears filed for Chapter 11 in 2018 and currently has a handful of stores left in the U.S. where it once had thousands. More after this on Arbitrage State of the Bands Weekend.
Okay, so Sarah, I'm dropping you off at Emily's?
Yep.
And Josh, you're going to?
Soccer, Dad. Soccer practice.
Right. Oh, by the way, I just wanted to let you know when I pick you both up, I'll be wearing my short shorts.
What?
No!
Yep, and my dorky dad hat, and I'm gonna do my dad dance for all your friends. They'll love it!
Seriously? Why?
Because I like my short shorts. Of course, I could be talked out of it if you guys would just buckle up your seatbelts without giving me a hard time.
It's important to get your kids to buckle up for safety, no matter what it takes. And sometimes, all it takes is your parental powers of persuasion.
Okay, we're buckling up.
See, all buckled.
Good choice. I'll just have to do my dad dance at dinner time. What?
No!
Do what you have to make sure your kids are wearing their seatbelts, even on short drives. Never give up until they buckle up. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. Visit safercar.gov/kidsbuckleup for more information.
Royce, our weekly check-in with Elon. I think we've got a name for it, don't we?
Elongate?
Yeah, I'm going to leave that one with you.
Okay.
So Twitter's largest investor, now known as Elon Musk.
The muskrat himself.
You know, it's just weird. It's just odd, right? So he buys 5% of Twitter. You know, that's kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
$3 billion there, I believe it was.
Okay.
Yeah. And then he buys, well, he actually gets on the board of Twitter.
Excellent.
And then he buys 4% more.
Excellent.
And then he announces it.
Well, it's public record. It's public information.
Okay.
Right?
So here's the thing.
Because you have to follow paperwork before you can do something like that. Because he has to be registered with the SEC to do it. So technically it becomes public record. As long as that paperwork hit the SEC's website, by the time he's made that announcement, he should be good.
So, okay. All right. Well, let's talk about this for a minute. Okay. He started buying up shares in daily batches starting in January 31st, right?
Yep.
And because of that, Twitter gave him a seat on the board. The regulatory filings for this were not done till after he had purchased 4% more of the company.
Yes, but as long as those registrations were done before he made that announcement, still good.
No.
No?
Here's the thing. People, you know people.
Yeah, people.
People are saying that he did something wrong because he bought 5%, got the seat on the board, didn't do any filings until he had purchased 4% more of the company.
Okay, I'm still not seeing the legal problem here.
Well, here's the key. Right? Twitter jumped 30% after Elon made it public.
Once again, it's still public. He's
30%. By the way, they did the filing when he made it public. That's the point, right? So
that it went into the public domain, which means anyone can know about it, which means then it's their opinion to go and buy it. And if they did, then good for them.
Yep.
It's not like he made the purchase, told a few people, and then basically like announced it on Twitter before the sale was final.
He kind of did, though.
No, if it was filed with the SEC and they made the announcement on the same day, no call, no foul.
Yeah, see, that's the thing, though. He got the board seat.
But the board seat doesn't matter.
Yes, it does. Board seats, just like the guy Ryan Cohen sits on the board of GameStop, one of our favorite targets.
Okay.
It shows that he supports Twitter. Twitter jumped 30% when he announced that he was going to be on the board. Okay. And then it dropped 4% when he announced he wasn't.
Okay.
So the point being is
why does it matter if you're sitting on a board or not sitting on the board? An announcement is still an announcement. It's still hearsay, and if you buy, that's on you. It's riding the hype train.
All right, we'll keep an eye on this and hope you keep an eye on it with us too. More after this on Arbitrage State of the Bands Weekend.
No word in the English language is less convincing than probably.
Are you sure we should get matching tattoos on our first date?
Sure. We'll probably stay together.
Probably? It's been 23 minutes since I ate. I can probably swim.
You should wait 30 minutes.
Okay, now tell me what to do. Cannonball! Cramp! Oh, I have a cramp.
I can probably hit the green from here.
Probably.
Can I get a mulligan?
Ready to go?
Hey, are you sure you're okay to drive?
Yeah, I'm pretty sober. Yeah, I'm probably okay.
Probably okay isn't okay, especially when it comes to drinking and driving. If you're drinking, call a cab, a car, or a friend. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. A message brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Sit down to a good meal of these picks on Winners and Losers Restaurant Edition. This winner up 3% is a chain of barbecue restaurants primarily located in the Midwestern United States, serving pork ribs, chicken, beef brisket, and several flavors of barbecue sauce. Famous Dave's, symbol BBQ, starts at $15.91 a share. Next, this winner up 1% operates and franchises restaurants in the United States and internationally. Its restaurants offer hamburgers, cheeseburgers, chicken sandwiches and nuggets, wraps, fries, salads, oatmeal, shakes, desserts, sundaes, soft serve cones, bakery items, soft drinks, coffee, and other beverages, as well as breakfast menu, including biscuit and bagel sandwiches, breakfast burritos, hot cakes, and other sandwiches. McDonald's, symbol MCD, starts at $251.52. And this winner up 0.7% operates as a quick service restaurant company in Canada and internationally. It operates through 4 segments: Tim Hortons, Burger King, Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen, and Firehouse Subs. Restaurant Brands International, symbol QSR, starts at $59.34 a share. Losers this week, down 16%. This loser develops, operates, and franchises full-service and casual dining restaurants. The company's restaurants primarily offer burgers and shareable pizzas, various appetizers, salads, soups, sandwiches, seafood, and other entrees and desserts, wings, milkshakes, alcoholic and non-alcoholic specialty drinks, cocktails, wine, and beer. Next, at 15% down, this loser, a restaurant concept company, develops and operates fast casual restaurants. It offers cooked-to-order dishes including noodles and pasta, soups, salads, and appetizers. As of December 28, 2021, the company operated 448 restaurants in 29 states, which included 372 company locations and 76 franchise locations. Noodles & Company, symbol NDLS, starts at $6.03 a share. And last, at 13% down, this loser owns and operates entertainment and dining venues for adults and families in North America. Its venues offer a menu of entrees and appetizers, as well as a selection of non-alcoholic and alcoholic beverages, and an assortment of entertainment attractions centered on playing games and watching live sports and other televised events. Dave & Buster's, symbol PLAY, starts at $49.26 a share. Winners and Losers is provided for informational purposes only and does not constitute advice in trading. Percentages and stock prices were current at time of recording. Arbitrage Trade Analytics LLC is solely responsible for the content of this podcast, but you should seek out the assistance of a licensed professional for investment advice.
We're all doing a lot. A lot of swiping, streaming, scrolling, double tapping, and social media stalking. A whole lot of nothing. You're probably scrolling right now. While we think a certain red heart is giving us life, we're neglecting the one that actually does. So let's take a stand against sitting. Let's care more about strolling than scrolling. Let's take charge of our health. Let's make moves together, starting now. Now.
Why was the basketball court all wet? Because the players kept dribbling on it.
The dad joke. Corny, groan-worthy, but also one of the simplest ways to share a moment with your kids.
What did the buffalo say when he dropped his son off for school? Bye, son.
So take a moment to make your kid laugh, because dad jokes rule. Make your kid laugh today. Go to fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
Jelly. Jelly adjective. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous, as in
Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org, brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Royce, have you been watching Berkshire Hathaway lately?
No, I don't usually watch Warren.
Okay, so here's the thing about Warren. Right now, apparently, they have a large cash reserve to the tune of $147 billion.
Actually, I'm gonna take this moment to say something.
Okay.
I actually admire Warren Buffett for his stance on making sure that all the companies that he is involved in, all the companies that he runs, are always very liquid, very cash flow strong. Like, to run a successful business, you have to maintain good cash flow. And he has promised his investors, that's why his stocks and stuff do so well. He promised, like, we will not be, cash strapped. We will have money to be able to make moves when we need to.
Right.
So that's not a surprise. 147 billion? I like it.
So the thing is this, right? We talked about Elon moving with Twitter, okay? Warren is not necessarily traditionally a technology investor, but over the past few years, he snapped up a bit of Apple. He snapped a bit up of an electric car maker, and Activision Blizzard. We kind of had some fun with that, thinking Warren might be a camper in COD. That would be nifty. However,
the Lich King.
Yeah. However, or World of Warcraft. Yeah. However, he's not necessarily traditionally a tech investor. Now he's invested in HP on more than 11% of the company.
Yeah, but HP isn't just printers.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. It's a lot of things. But he did a filing with the SEC that said that he now owns nearly 121 million HP shares, giving it, like I said, giving him and Berkshire Hathaway 11.5% of the company.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing.
I like it. Maybe I'll grab some too.
Maybe.
Smart people move together. That's why I call it smart money.
Yeah, I agree completely. As we take a look at this, we're watching a couple of big players right now that are making some interesting investment choices. Elon being one, Warren being the other, kind of our favorite targets, I guess.
Yeah.
Because they're always in the news. He bought 14.7 million shares in Activision Blizzard, and right now they were worth $975 million at the end of 2021. End of trading Monday, $1.19 billion.
That is a nice short-term return.
You gotta love that, right?
Yep.
Had something to do with the Microsoft deal, which, by the way, happened after Warren purchased his shares.
Nothing wrong with that.
I guess I'm
Let
too
the
much
dominoes
of a
fall.
I guess
where
I'm
they
too
lay.
much of a conspiracy theorist because it just kind of goes, that's interesting.
Hey, timing. A lot of part about the market is timing the market. A lot of people try to time it, and some people just get lucky.
So we will definitely be watching HP to see what goes on with the printer maker and
Good gaming laptops too, by the way.
Good gaming laptops.
So
Awesome.
Activision and all this stuff. I'm picturing a lot of VE coming our way.
Could be connected.
Arbitrage Trade Analytics, LLC, is a privately held market research company. Arbitrage Trade Analytics, LLC, is solely responsible for the preparation and distribution of the content of this podcast. The opinions offered in this podcast are for informational purposes only and are not intended to be investment advice. Seek a duly licensed professional for investment advice. For more information about the informational research and services offered by Arbitrage Trade Analytics, LLC, please visit Arbitrage Trade.